Hey guys, Paul McLean here, and welcome again to the Monday Morning Wake Up Podcast. And as you guys can visibly see already, I got the newest integrity partner with Family First Life, Ivan on. Ivan, how you doing, bro?
Hey man, can't be better. Can't believe it still. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on here today.
Oh man, I love you, bro, and I'm excited about what we're gonna get into today. I could just tell you guys, I know some of you are driving, so I don't want you to take notes while you're driving. Then again, if you do, I just pray that you don't crash, because if you don't crash, you're gonna get a lot from taking notes while you're driving. But if you don't, man, get a pen, get a piece of paper. What's going to be covered today is going to make a massive difference in your business. I guarantee it. I promise you. Ivan has gotten his business to a level where he's now an integrity partner, which I just think that, for one, I mean, how blessed are we that Sean put in place a business and lay the foundation of significance, that when we build our business, that house that we can visibly see, man, as things come, as things take place, it reflects the foundation being so strong. Storms don't break it down, they reveal the strength of it, and we're able to build it so fast. And Ivan, you've been here for how long have you been with Family First Life, man?
All right. So October this year, it'll be 4 years.
Okay, so coming up on 4 years. So, like, to get perspective, I was going to go to college for 4 years, Ivan. And after year one, I got my license, and I was like, man, I made more this month than a lot of people I know graduating with a degree. So let me give this a shot. But I was willing to sacrifice for 4 years, no money, to make a little bit more money with a certificate. And so in less than a college degree, a bachelor's degree, you've built your business to such a high level that you're able to do an acquisition, to partner with integrity. And I always say, and I've heard this before, I can't remember who said it, but it's so true. You don't have a business unless somebody's willing to buy it. You know what I mean? Like I got a great business. Well, dude, if it ain't sellable, then it ain't really that great. And so in 4 years, a college degree, you've gotten to that point. And so as we get into this podcast, guys, I just want to remind you real quick to like, to subscribe, to comment. Every single week, somebody gets a ability, and we actually have somebody every week that wins $250 in lead credit. And so we do a drawing at the end of this podcast. And so put yourself in position to do that. Also, we read the comments. So, if you say, hey, I want to know about this, put it in there. You're like, I really, this made a big difference. Put it in there. We want to hear it. We want to see it. And we want to make sure that every single week, this is serving you and serving you well. Also share this. One share might make a big difference on somebody else, depending on where they're going through or what they're going through and what they hear today in Ivan's process and what he's going to cover. So make sure to share it as well. All right, Ivan. So, man, as we get into this, dude, kind of, give us a little bit about Ivan for everybody watching this. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got going in the business. I love this, I love the fact that even go back to like how, you came to the States, and in the process that you've gone through as you joined Family First Life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks again, Paul. Definitely privileged and honored to be here to share with you all. Um, so yeah, I've been here for 11 years. Right before we've been doing this podcast, I was actually recruiting somebody. Had to tell him the same story, how I was just trying to relate to him. If I did it, then you can definitely do it. You were born here. This is your native language, so there should be no obstacles. But when I came here my first year, I've just been knocking doors, trying to sell Comcast cable door to door in like middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. So through the snow in the winter. So and definitely had no excuses doing that, and didn't really speak good English. But I had a guy that we ran that gig together that spoke like five different languages. That I've learned English from him for the most part, and I had zero problems getting uncomfortable as we were knocking the door down the street, and he was going on one side of the street, I was going on another. So if I didn't know what to say, I'd just shout to him across the street, and he'd tell me how to reply back. That was wild. Just getting in somebody's homes when they don't expect you to show up, and like bother them and sell them cable. Like single play, double play, triple play, that type of stuff, and you'd be getting paid anywhere between 100 to $300 per sale. So done that for a year, and had a whole bunch of other different jobs in between, and traveled a lot, been trying to explore where I want to live, and finally settled in Chicago. Took the job, and I've been to Chicago many times before. I had a lot of friends here. Took the job where I kind of stuck at for 3 years and made me comfortable. Made decent money at a time because I never really held the job with benefits or anything like that. So, and I got a job where I had health insurance, had all this good stuff that, that I've never had before. So we settled. My wife had a decent job. I mean, probably been making over 100,000 between both of us. Didn't have to pay for an apartment as I, worked for that property management company, and they've been like, I guess taking care of us. So we were comfortable until my wife told me that she's pregnant with our first child, and kind of forced me to get uncomfortable and try to find something. And, I started my career in insurance, got licensed with a captive agency, been with them for 12 months and produced 36,000 of annual premium in my first year, trying to do just, reaching out and doing cold stuff, and got fed up with this. Been driving Uber through that first year in the business because I needed to pay the bills. Insurance was more like a hobby. And I also had real estate license. I utilized that, a little bit, made some side money, and, just definitely been watching a lot, been watching what Family First Life's been doing. So, and it's not like it is right now. I can't even imagine what it's like to be on the outside and not be with Family First Life and hear all this compelling messages every single day through social media, because now it's massive. It's like, and everybody I interview on a daily basis, they're like, oh, it's impossible not to notice you guys. You're so loud, you're so vocal, and there's so much success, and it's sometimes hard to believe. And it was really hard to believe for me and take a leap of faith, because I got burned by the industry. 50% comp, no leads, made literally no money. And my wife was mad at me every single week for not being home and not making money, so, and I didn't know if I want to continue. Definitely knew that Uber was a dead end. Having real estate license, help make side money. I didn't see that as a career. So, but I genuinely liked helping people. I liked what we did. And with my previous company, I even processed a death claim, and I knew how a very small amount of final expense coverage actually helped the family, like really helped the family. I didn't know that this much money can actually relieve that much burden, and I was definitely passionate about doing that. Spent the year in the industry. I'm like, I'm not just going to let it go. I want to figure it out. So it took me 3 months to make a decision to come on board. But again, I kept watching LinkedIn and other social media platforms, and I'm like, I almost have to prove it to myself. Sounded too good to be true, of submitting 10,000 plus. And when I came on board, I mean, I never looked back, man. So it's been a great ride ever since. And when you're talking about what kind of opportunity this is, and how good of a man Sean Mike is, and what this is all about, and I get goosebumps, and I'm like, yeah, like, even outside of the integrity deal, which we didn't know was possible back in the day, when I was listening to Monday Morning Wake Up Call for the first time, trying to listen to it, get pumped, and get on the phone, book a lot of appointments, build a team and get a good bonus. But even like how we set up just to individually produce, just go out and help so many clients and get rewarded for it very handsomely, and take care of your family. It's just unbelievable. I'm forever grateful. Never look back. And even if you're entering the industry and you're not necessarily even sure if you want to build a team, build an agency, create the business to sell, like, if you just want to sell insurance, this opportunity best, it's second to none, literally. So I'm very, very grateful for being here, Paul. And again, I mean, this Monday morning brand is very significant to me. I remember listening to it diligently, following the system, listening to it every Monday, soaking it up the best way I can, and learning the subjects. I remember one of the first calls I heard, you were talking like, Family First Life is the free education, free college, and the final expense is the math. Mortgage protection is, English. You just got to learn the subject. You got to put in the time, learn it. It's free. The training's free, and you get to apply it every day, get better, and take care of your family the best way you can. So, just can be more grateful to be here. Can be more grateful to Sean and you. So happy to be on this Monday morning wake up call as well.
Well, dude,
now it's a podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we've upgraded, man. We've kind of tried to evolve with the times. But dude, for one, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that you made the jump, and as you kind of sat back and said, man, is this too good but to be true? You tested that. I think some people say that and they think, well, maybe it is. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe this is right. And then you found out that it was, to the tune of now your business is doing. What did you guys pay last month, Ivan?
We did 2.85 million of issued volume.
So almost 3 million in paid business. And so when we kind of look at that, you start off, I've been saying, man, I was didn't know English, but I was knocking on doors and yelling for somebody to tell me how to say. And then you go over here, not too far down the road, $3 million insurance agency that's bigger than 99% of IMOs out there. The same with Family First Life. Most of groups are larger than the IMOs in the country. And so you built, dude, not like objectively, you built one of the largest businesses in the entire country. And you go back not too long down the road and you were yelling at somebody to give you the right phraseology or word track and vocabulary to say something to try to get in the door to sell some different product. And I think that's such a big deal. Dude, Ivan, some people wait to learn more about the product to make their first phone calls. Dude, you didn't wait to learn how to say hello. You were knocking on doors, bro. So talk about that. How did you get past in your mind saying, well, I don't know if I'm ready yet because of all these conditions? Because I think that plagues agents here, Ivan, where they say, I don't know if I'm ready to make my first dial. I don't know if I'm ready to get my first batch leads. I don't know if I'm ready to hire an assistant. I don't know if I'm ready to go on this travel trip. I don't know if whatever you want to fill in. I think that I don't know if I'm ready plagues people and keeps them bound from growing. We go look at what you just said, and you talk about not knowing English and knocking on doors still and asking for help while you were in the cell, so to speak. Talk about that, man. What kind of kept you from that I don't know enough yet mindset? Why?
I mean, truthfully, I think it's just, I don't know, man. I just getting uncomfortable is what I've seen, producing results. I think that's the thing here is, and it's, I don't know. I've heard that from somebody. You can't really, and it's stuck in my brain. You can't really learn how to ride a bicycle watching YouTube videos of somebody, an instructor, explaining to you on the YouTube video how to ride that bicycle. I mean, it's in when I came on board with FFL, like the one of the first things that also stuck in my brain is the more uncomfortable you get, the more comfortable your family gets. And like if you coming in on board and something probably attracted you here, and if something attracted you here and you truly believe that it's possible to come up with the same numbers as all of these top producers, you should just do what they do. And I'm like ask top 50 producers in the company, they're all going to say just buy leads and get on the phone, right? Why would you overthink that? Why would you want to do it any differently? And you don't have a shot at learning the products and staying in the business if you just not doing fundamentals and all these basic things extraordinarily well. Like just getting on the phone. If you're watching this podcast and you heard that a lot, probably by now if you're plugging into the training, but you haven't jumped on the phones yet, I urge you to do it because you're going to learn so much more from doing that than you would from watching all kinds of trainings, even watching this training. So, I mean, I don't know where you want me to go with this, Paul, and I hope this makes a little sense here. But like if you want to know a little bit about me and why I think I want to just go before, and that's cool. I never thought about it this way when you said before I even learned how to say hello, I was knocking on the doors trying to sell cable. I mean, my back was against the wall. I mean, I just wanted to, and to me back in the day when I was knocking the doors, I knew that if I can convert, if I can sell, I can make $300, and it was a big deal because before I worked at state minimum jobs, $8.50 an hour. So now I knew that if I'm just gonna find people that's gonna tolerate my language, then I can sit with and just help them with the cable, and put them in a little bit better position maybe, or just get them the TV and the phone and the internet service. I mean, I can get paid $300. I'm like, you know what? I mean, I'm just gonna go do it. I'm just gonna figure it out.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, I think for one, when your back's against the wall and it's like survival, like, dude, I'm either going to make this work or I'm going to die, right? Like the life or death. situation, typically we go out there and we do the things necessary to win, to live, right? But I think that too often times, especially what I see in this business, because it is so lucrative, you know, it's so simple to go on and buy a batch of leads, go out there and help a couple families. And they're like, man, I'm making more than I've ever made before. We just took a look at some of the numbers from July, and we almost did 20 million in issue paid business for the hierarchy. And there was like over 100 agents just in our small group, a part of the company, a fraction of the company, that issue paid over 30,000. That's like over probably 100 agents that made more last month than they probably ever had in their life. I think that as you step into this area or space where you're no longer, it's life or death, right? Like it's not like, man, if I don't go out there and figure it out this week or figure this out, I don't know what I'm going to do. You've now stepped out of that and you're like, I'm living better than I thought I could, or living better than I thought I would. How did you keep that intensity, that focus? Dude, when I saw you, when I see you, you got this focus where it's like, dude, you know what you're getting after. You're not confused. I mean, I remember seeing you at every meeting, no matter where I saw you at, Ivan, you had these beats on like this, dude. They kind of look like this. Everywhere you were going, man, you had those on your head. And dude, you're always talking. When I say always, I'm talking about always. I mean, I would want to say hi to you every once in a while, but I was like, I don't mess him up, dude. Like, and he's talking, I'm bug. You were just nonstop, and you're still nonstop. No, you just went from, I think, the big ones to the AirPods. But how did you keep that going when it was no longer life or death? Because you didn't waver and you've not let off when it changed. Why? How did that happen?
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think I just keep reminding myself every morning where I came from, and it's, it's definitely no longer about survival, and it's definitely not about the lifestyle anymore. It's all about helping agents, because I would do anything, like literally anything legal, to have this kind of opportunity when I didn't have it. So, and I mean, I've heard that from somebody else, and when I started thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, probably be in the same situation. Where I don't remember who said that, but they said if I didn't have this opportunity, I wouldn't be married now. My wife would leave me. She'd probably give up on me, and I wouldn't even blame her for it. But I heard that, and I started thinking, and I'm like, I'd probably be in the same situation. My wife wouldn't be with me. We probably wouldn't have kids, because she'd be, and I mean, that's the stuff I think about every day. And I'm also looking at the big picture. Like like when you get from having nothing to having something, then it's definitely not the ceiling. There's so much more out there. And when I also know how many people I can help on a daily basis and save them from their situation, I mean, it's like, when I sold the first few policies and got paid, which is fairly quick thanks to the FFL process and the simplicity of it, I thought it's the best thing in the world. But come to find out, it's not. It's when agents do the same thing and replicate what you've done before and follow your lead and change their situation. That is the best feeling. That is by far the best feeling, and like, let alone seeing people developing agencies and just changing their life forever. And I keep that in front of my mind every morning. I'm never gonna forget where I came from. So that drives me every single day.
Do you have, like, when you say you keep it in front of you, do you like review it? Have you written it down? Like, this is what drives me, or is this just something? How do you fix your focus or put your thoughts on that specifically? Is there something you do where it stays in front of you? What does that look like?
Yeah. Well, I definitely, I have this thing here that's, I mean, I use it as my notepad, so it's an electronic thing. And I write down every morning. I just sit down and I write down, things that I focus on, things that I want to focus on today, and, the goals, and I'm trying to definitely document everything like that, just because if I'm not, I'm going to simply forget. I mean, life's going to get busy as soon as I left the house. I mean, I'm going to get a bunch of phone calls, and I'm going to forget what this is all about. So I definitely keep up with this. Like as I started here, the time when I left National Convention in Dallas, and that was 2018. Ever since I left, and I think I've heard that from somebody, I started writing down my goals, my thoughts, even like to-do lists. I mean, I'm documenting everything. If it's not organized for me, I'm gonna forget about it, and I'm not just gonna get it done. Whatever I can get out of my way and just get it done quick, so I don't have to even write it down. Because I mean, at some point I caught myself writing down to send an email, where sending an email would have been quicker than writing down to send it. So I mean, I was kind of on the other side of it, but I'm like, I don't think I'm the most organized person. I'm very far from that. And the first thing we all need to organize is our thoughts and our goals, you know. So it all starts here for sure. So I mean, I remember, you know, leaving convention in Dallas earlier, just jumping on the plane, excited to go back and hit the field, hit the ground running again. And just ever since I left Dallas, I mean, I've been documenting everything I'm doing and reviewing my goals, my whys, and everything on a daily basis.
Man, that's such a big deal. I hope everybody caught that. Like when you were at conference, your belief went to such a high level that you could do this. You saw all these other people doing it. Man, you probably saw me like, man, if that idiot could do it, I'm in. You know, you saw these people that were seeing success. And I remember doing that, going to a conference and thinking like, man, if that guy, I could do it, you know? And I think everybody has that. And maybe it's not the person you're necessarily working with, which is such a benefit of how large FFL is that we're one team. Everybody's supporting and helping everybody. I mean, I spend more time working with agents in different organizations now than I think even my own, because they reach out and because maybe they connect well with me. And then I got agents that I'm doing the same thing. Like, hey, reach out to Ivan, reach out to this person. Who do you like? Because at the end of the day, if belief is being built, then action's going to follow. Most people don't take those uncomfortable steps because they don't believe at the end of the day that it's going to produce any fruit, that it's going to be real for them, that they can do it, that there's somebody there to kind of help them through it. And see, dude, for you, you left that conference, your belief level was up, and then you went in and took action and saying, okay, I believe I could do this. So let me plan. Let me put some goals. Let me think about what I need to do. And you planned it, you calendared it, you blocked it out. And then you were willing to go out there and take massive action because you had whys, what you were going to do and why you were going to do, and, you know, all those different things. And then you took massive action. Guys, that's such a big deal. And I love the scripture says, you know, renew your mind, you know, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, or you're going to be conformed to the patterns of the world. Dude, the patterns of the world are broke-mindedness, mediocrity, complaining, blaming, justification. What's instant pleasure now? What can I get now that feels good? Nothing. It's all fleeting. It's all how I feel. Like, you know, that my daughter the other day, Ivan, she said something about like, you know, do you, like this was a new thing. I don't know if you heard about it, like, do you, boo, or something like that. I said, man, I ain't trying to do me. I'm trying to become a new me. I'm trying to grow, trying to develop. I'm trying to get better. And I need to go back to the education, like you said, Ivan, where it's like, can I get better in this area? Can I get better with my mindset, with the way I respond, with my coachability, with my all in, with my response? Can I get better with in-home and phones and hiring and empowering and equipping and challenging and asking questions? Can I get better at these things? And then how do I? Let me schedule some education. The other thing, Ivan, I love what you said is, you know, really what it was is like, I'm going to go out there and I need to create success for myself because I need to take care of my family. I need to learn so I can earn some money. But the moment that you saw some success, Ivan, I love what you said, and I want people to catch this. For one, you were able to earn so much because it was about the clients. You know, you said even at the prior company, you had a death claim, and that resonated well for you as far as like knowing the value and what you did had a purpose. And as you went through no shows and no sales and things like that, you could tie some of those painful moments to the fact that there was a purpose behind them. Taking care of my family and what I'm doing is a big deal for these clients. The moment you saw success, though, you instantly talked about how you said, man, I got to give other people a shot. There's somebody out there that's probably like I was, that's looking for a shot. And so you went to this, I'm going to learn, earn, but then now I want to return what I know. And you transition from success really to significance, where it's about me to it's about we. It's about how do we go out there? How do I help more people see success? And see, that's the difference. It's easy once we've got success for ourselves to lose track of everybody else. Because look what I'm doing. Look how great it is. Look how great it feels. Look at all the money I made. Now I could go do this and do that. Opposed to, man, let me go out and make a difference and be an impact player, meaningful, specific for others as well. And I love how you made that shift, right? You made that change where it's about people. Is there something that you remind yourself of, kind of like with the client that passed away? Maybe you kept it on your mind when you would go into a client's house. Was there stories, or how did you keep your mind focused on, I can go help save more people. I can go out and help more people have a shot at success. How did you do that?
Oh, it's a good one, Paul. But I definitely appreciate all the kind words you said. To add to the last point, I definitely kept it in front of me, like, and kept reminding myself, because I even saved my goals on the screen, on the screen of my phone. Because I mean, I'm not looking onto anything more often than the screen of my phone, and I want to remind myself as many times as possible. As again, we get distracted and stuff, but yeah, and as I saw success, I wanted to help other people, and I even had a conversation with my wife first year. I'm like, hey, I mean, I said, we need to cut the budget. I mean, I understand I'm making money right now, and we probably started spending so much. And we both sat down and looked at the bank statements, and there was nothing but the leads that we were overspending money. So my wife was really mad that evening. I mean, she's like, why are you buying all this leads? Why are you spending so much money on the leads? You probably, you could have been more profitable. You got to watch your books. You got to convert better. She was like seriously saying, you got to learn how to, just sell and work with what you got. And, and at that point, I definitely was spending money in helping newer agents to buy leads, and not everything went as smooth as you described it, probably, Paul. I mean, I definitely bought into helping other agents right away. And I would also, since I definitely was following a system to a T when it comes to producing. I definitely weren't like necessarily listening or wanted to listen or absorbing information when it comes to hiring and getting agents moving. So, and I got frustrated early on, and I quit doing it for a little while before I went back and started hiring again. So that definitely was the process, and there's one thing that definitely frustrated me in the beginning is not seeing that instant gratification from the building side of it, So, and that was quite a challenge. So, and
What do you mean by that, Ivan? Can you kind of expand? Why was that so prominent, or such a deep feeling when you didn't see the instant success? Why did it feel like, man, I need to see it right away?
Yeah, because I saw it happening on the sales side fairly quickly. I mean, I can get leads on Sunday night, dial all day Monday, book appointments for Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday morning, I'm gonna be seeing a lot of deposits. Like a lot of deposits. And then at that point, I was like, why do I need to even worry about this? I had some kind of thoughts in the back of my mind. Maybe I should be. That was for a little while. Maybe I should just make as much money as I can here and start investing in real estate and whatnot, and start doing something else. And then I realized how wrong I was and how much more difficult it is to make it work. And the even having a lot of money, how building an agency would produce way more massive results than anything else out there. But I mean, I think I was trying to, and personal production and recruiting, building an agency is very similar. There's a lot of principles in parallel, you can apply and parallels you can draw between the two. But, one of them has instant gratification, especially in the simplified issue marketplace, and the other one does not. So I was just expecting the same thing. And I guess I was like questioning things, why everybody's not doing what I'm doing, because it's so simple. It's really is simple. I came from the company where my deals would be sitting in the queue in the underwriting department for like sometimes 2 months, waiting to get approved, or they would need something else. When I came here, I'm like, you know what? I mean, if I sell something on Tuesday, I'm going to get paid on Thursday morning, and that's how it should be. I got accustomed to that standard, and I thought it's going to be the same way when it comes to hiring. So I just thought I just need, back in the day, we were doing affidavits. I just thought as soon as I just need to turn the affidavit in, and then things going to get better and the agency is going to grow, which is definitely not the case. And maybe I wasn't really ready to help agents, the way I needed to help them. And I assumed that they would figure it out, because there's really nothing to figure out. You just need need to jump on the phone and make dials and just go out there, embrace uncomfortability and just run with it. And not everybody's wired the same way, I guess. And that was a struggle, just kind of meet people where they're at and understanding that the contracting process takes a little time, just and how things are. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's something that everybody struggles with. I know I did too, because it was almost like my identity became, Ivan, like what I did from selling. Like if I went out and wrote 10K for the week, man, I feel so good. And that kind of messed me up with building a business, because the payoff, it wasn't immediate, And so I would get discouraged and frustrated, because I could put all this work in Monday through Friday, week after week after week, and not see anybody go out there and be successful. And I'm like, anybody could do this. Why ain't they doing it? And I'm frustrated. Like, am I letting people down? And all that kind of stuff it's a normal part of the process. But when you don't hear it, you don't think that it is. I would look at other people like, man, they just get people going, or it's just the way it is. It's almost like the agent sits down and they call 10 leads and they get, 4 to hang up, and they book 6, and they're mad. Well, they didn't all book. Well, no, that you actually had a better ratio than you were supposed to. Like, you just got to have the right expectation. Like, it's a numbers game. But the crazy thing is, it's a delayed gratification. Like, the harvest is delayed, but man, that fruit from that harvest, man, it tastes so much better than the personal production, because it's passive system driven income that puts you in a different lifestyle, but also you're able to watch other people see success because they're making real money if you're making agency override kind of money. And I think that's such a big, big deal. As we kind of look at, wrapping up, Ivan, I would love to have you talk about, going back the last 4 years, some of the things that maybe you tweaked or adjusted, or things that you figured out, or maybe something that you thought you found out wasn't. And I'm giving you a bunch of different angles to look at answering this, but that if you went back 4 years, you'd say, man, this is something that makes a big difference. Mindset, things maybe some beliefs that you thought were one way and you figured out it wasn't. Anything like that could kind of serve the team well as they go out and execute this week.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely struggled early on, and something that I had to change is, that, you just have to be consistent with your activity no matter what, and I'm a human being, right? So, and things that don't even matter, things that I could not control so I wouldn't, like, I'm telling you, my thing was my hot button was the chargebacks, Paul. And and we all know that in Central Time, you get an email from America at 5:30 a.m. with your statement, and you know exactly what happened and what you're going to get paid the following day. And also, I think Mutual of Omaha used to send it in the morning, but I'm not too certain on that. But I remember just waking up really, really early with anxiety, thinking, and wanting to make sure that I have no chargebacks. And, I think I kind of outgrew that, and definitely now having way different mindset on the chargebacks, that it's definitely a part of the process, and sometimes something we could not even control. So, and if I could not control it, I shouldn't really worry about this, if that makes sense. So, and I would even have some of my days wouldn't be as productive just because of that. It would bring me down so much. I'd be overthinking it. I'm like, am I good enough for this job? Why did they cancel? Are we doing the right thing? Should I pick the different product? How I could have serviced the client better, what I could have done in the home. It'd be paralyzing, because I'd be thinking about it all day, and that would get me distracted from what I'm there to do. And I'd probably even miss helping so many families out there that, that I could have helped, and I could have put them in a better position, but I was just questioning myself, questioning the process, and worrying about things that I could not control. You know what I mean? So, when later on, and when I made that tweak and adjustment and told myself that I really shouldn't worry about this, what a big deal. All the stores accept the refunds, and returns. We should as well. We're a business, we're no different. And, imagine that if the Target would shut down the doors of the whole entire store, if somebody brought $1,000 worth of returns early in the morning, they're like, get to us. Oh my God, we really should we even sell that product? Well, yeah, that just, it doesn't really mean anything, and it's something we could not control. And sometimes, like we of course can get better at it, but thinking about it, overthinking it, all of the situation, and just questioning yourself doesn't really help. Just get better, keep following the system, and don't worry about things you could not control. It's just going to get in the way, and it's not going to help you.
Man, that is so good. I mean, two things I'm thinking about as you're talking, Ivan, that for me, like that I'm taking is like, dude, I'm so just, I guess, apt to beat myself up, thinking that I'm not good enough. Maybe I got lucky. I mean, I remember going a day after being a top producer for years, and just as gives you an example of how bad I was with it. I have one bad day and I'd think like, I lost it. I've lost it. I can't help families. I was lucky for the last 7 years. And I remember calling Andrew, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, bro, like, I don't know how to do this thing anymore. And I would just beat myself up. Or even if I had a great day, it was like, man, but I don't think I found any kind of annuities, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do, it was just always beating myself up. And now kind of thinking back, where I stopped going into those mental valleys, so to speak, so much, it was, I didn't get rid of that voice that would yell at me, so to speak, and say like, you ain't good, or this ain't going to work, or whatever, or like, maybe I should go do something different, real estate, or whatever you were talking about, Ivan. I didn't get rid of it. I just lowered the volume. I learned how to control the volume, because I do believe, and I had a season of this as well, where I tried to kill that voice. When I killed the voice, I stopped getting better. I stopped tweaking, integrating my reality, looking at my business, looking at my in-home, looking at different things and saying, how can I improve and get better? Because we could always grow. We could always get better. And so I think the ticket, as I'm hearing you, Ivan, it's like, don't let the voice yell, because if it does, it's going to distract you from being able to go out there and execute at the level you should, at your peak performance. And don't kill the voice, because you'll stop getting better. But just lower the volume so you can still tweak and adjust. But I was like, hey, it is what it is. What can I learn from it? I'm going to go out there and execute and get my self-esteem from my work habits right now, today, in the present moment. This is what I got to focus on. That was something big I just took from what we talked about, man. And I'm thinking, I'm almost listening to you and reflecting, because what you said was so good, is that voice. And I think the second thing is, as you talked, Ivan, through some of the things you struggled with, it sounded like, for one, I think everybody can relate to you. I know I can, about these different thoughts that come in about like the chargebacks, and how that makes you feel almost kind of angry. Like, what the heck, man? And then you start thinking, man, I drove to that client's house, bought that lead. That was, $92 in gas. My car depreciated by about $2,282.22 because I drove 72 miles, and based off the amortization, you start doing that stuff. And now you're way over here. But just stopping and surfing that thought, really letting it kind of go, and then asking yourself questions like, well, what does it really matter? And everybody deals with that. Target deals with it. And then you surf that thought, and it allows you to kind of get onto a different wave where you're like, okay, got it. This is what I need to do. This is how I need to think moving forward, opposed to just letting yourself feel all that emotion from a thought. Just surf it, so to speak. Figure out where it's taking you, why you feel that way, and then give some, relativity to that, and then move from there. I mean, that's such a big deal. That was just phenomenal. Ivan, for it, I know everybody else is thinking like this was good. For me though, man, thank you. Cause that's what, I mean, I was thinking this as you were talking, and it made a big difference, man. And so this is something that every day, we need to be reminded to do this. Cause if you don't, like you said in the beginning of the call, Ivan, another big thing was like, you'll forget. You'll get off track, and then you're back, not surfing a thought, but just living with the feelings and the emotions from it. And then after a period of time, it just feels like you. So, man, it's just how I feel. And you continue to attract that, because at least it feels like you, whether that's doubt, disbelief, discouragement, not enough, or whatever that might be. And so I love that, man. Replace it with some good truths, surf the thought, replace it, and say, hey, this is what I can control. Let's move forward. And so, dude, thank you so much, man. Phenomenal podcast. Guys, share this, like this, comment it. It was a great one. This is something that I'd watch multiple times over again for the stuff you gave us today, Ivan. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you joining, dude.
Hey man, I appreciate you. Learned a ton from you, and I'm just thinking that recirculating everything we learned from each other, adjusting it a little bit, using different word tracks to describe it. But I mean, it's always been about basics. It's always been about maintaining the right attitude, rewiring yourself every single morning, and adjusting a little bit, you know. And a lot of times we're just, you know, small adjustments, small and very, it might seem insignificant adjustment away from the breakthrough. So get off that emotional roller coaster. You know, don't worry about results. Worry about activity, because like just the truth. You're gonna make your money no matter what. You know, as long as you put the client first, follow the process, load up on leads, get in the office, get around the fire, get around the people that's doing what you want to do. You know, plug into the system to the fullest. Podcasts, training calls. You know, and truth be told, you know, your uplines, whoever they are, they do want you to succeed, and you know, they do care about you. Just, I mean, they wouldn't suggest for you to do something if that wouldn't benefit you. So, I mean, best opportunity ever. Thanks for having me here, Paul. I'm very, very grateful for you and for your mentorship, that you mentored so many people without you even knowing, man. So this is great, man. So, I mean, when I talk to agents, I always refer them to you. Just, hey, don't watch, you know, just go watch the basics. Go watch Paul McLean. So, I mean, I can't be more thankful to be here. Best opportunity ever. You know, let's hit that $1 billion a year.
I love it, man. Well, I'll tell you what, all I did was go to work, dude, and try to keep my mind right. And that it's about as simple. Anybody can do this. And Ivan, thank you, dude. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for everything you've done. You've been an inspiration. You're not just an inspiration, you're an inspiring person, man. When I watch you, I feel like I want to go out there and do more and be more. And I think everybody feels the same way today. And that's what this podcast is about, to go out there and leave today and go out there and attack this Monday and make it a big week. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Be strong, stay steadfast, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Raven, recruiter for Family First Life Ambition. We're doing the lead credit giveaway right now. Make sure you comment on this video to be entered to win. Let's see who's the winner this week. Congratulations, Kelly Yarger. You're the winner this week. $250 lead credit. Have a good one, guys.